Okay. We're live. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome back to Farm Sim Friday. Hope everyone's doing alright. We are back. I'm back from my break. As you can probably hear in my voice, I'm a little bit ill at the moment, which is why we're only doing a shorter stream today. But we are going to be playing some farming sim. I had a lovely break, thank you for asking. Lovely time with my sister and my nephew. I'm glad to be back. Like I say, I'm not quite fully back yet because I'm a little bit under the weather at the minute. But hopefully by Sunday for Subnautica, I'll be right back to normal. For today, we're just going to do something a little bit different, a little bit less intense. We're going to do a farming sim special. So we're not actually going to be doing any farming today. We are going to be doing some exploring instead. I'll explain more about that in just a minute. Hello, Blades54. How are you doing? So, I don't know how many people we're going to get today. This is not my usual start time, so we'll see how... we'll just see how it goes. Today's stream is probably only going to be an hour to an hour and a half. Like I say, I can't really do more than that today. You can already hear my voice is straining just speaking now, and we're only a couple of minutes in. Very sore throat, blocked nose, all the usual cold symptoms. It seems like every time my sister comes to visit me, I get ill, so I think that she's bringing some tropical disease from Wales with her. But I'm okay. Like, I feel alright. I'm just, like, really congested, and it's affecting my voice. So it's not like I feel ill or anything. I just don't sound like my usual self. So, anyway, to the stream. To what we're going to be doing today. We're at the train station in Kinlaig, and we have brought the ape with us. I've parked it next to this Mini Cooper, which honestly is probably the only car in this game that makes the ape look moderately sized. But we've got the ape here. We are going to be doing a bit of exploring. So we came here... Oh, train. We came here in the last Farm Sim Friday, and I noticed this poster here on the wall in the train station. It says, visit the standing stones of Kinlaig. There's a couple of other posters here. There's a poster for the castle. There's a poster for hiking and kayaking. So I thought, because I'm not quite well enough to do a full Farm Sim Friday stream, we'll do a shorter stream where we're just going to explore the map a bit. This is like the 6th episode on this series, and we haven't really explored much of the map. We've only really seen our farm and the shop, and we've just been going backwards and forwards between our farm and the shop. So we haven't really, we haven't been down to the southeast of the map. We haven't been up to the coast at the north of the map. There's so many parts of the map that we haven't seen today. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to just hop into the ape. We're going to try and find the standing stones, first of all. We're going to try and find Kinlaig Castle. We're going to visit the lighthouse. There are some collectibles, so I'm going to keep my eye out for those. But, bearing in mind that this series is supposed to be ultra-realism, I don't want to get a load of free money, so we're not going to save our progress at the end of this stream. Any collectibles that I find, we're going to reverse the progress so that we don't actually get any money from collecting those. Evening, Fred. How are you doing? Oh, STFC says, just realised you're on 1303. That went up quickly. We are, yes. We actually hit 1,000 followers the day after I went on my break. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for 1,000 followers. Huge milestone. It's been almost 2 years since we hit 1,000 followers on my original TikTok account. And yeah, part of me is like still a little bit upset that we've had to start again, but 1,000 is like the first big hurdle, the first big milestone. So thank you so much, everyone, for 1,000 followers. I'm very grateful for that. Keys, up there. If I can get them in. There we go. Oh, also STFC says, are you playing the new Resident Evil game next Wednesday? Not next Wednesday. It won't be out next Wednesday. The Wednesday after. I'm going to be doing... I am going to be doing Horror Wednesday this coming Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you what I'm playing, but I am going to be doing a special one-shot Horror Wednesday stream next week. The Wednesday after that, though, the new Resident Evil will have released, and I will be playing that on stream. I think it actually comes out next Thursday, so a day after Horror Wednesday. But I will be playing it on the 4th of March. Really, really excited for it. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I haven't played every single game, but I've played the first 2 as well as 7. I've never played Village, but the chance to play a brand new Resident Evil game on stream is just too good of an opportunity to pass up, so I am going to be buying it on release, and I am going to be playing it here on stream starting from the 4th of March. Okay, let's get moving. It is currently December in-game, so there is going to be a bit of snow, which hopefully it won't settle too much. Although it does say 7 to 8 centimeters expected. You might not be able to see that on the YouTube stream because it's covered up by my wheel cam. But we're going to get moving. We are going to try and find a few landmarks around the map. I think the best place to start is going to be the coast, to be honest, because we know that there's a lighthouse in the game. And obviously that's going to be somewhere along the coast. In fact, I can see it right there. There's a huge suspension bridge here, but I don't think we can cross this. No, we can't. I just want to apologise again, by the way, for my voice today. I am a little bit ill at the minute. Honestly, it probably would have been better for me to take a couple more days off, but I've already had a week away from streaming. I really wanted to get back into it. I didn't want to keep you waiting any longer. So I decided to come back today. It's going to be a shorter stream because, again, I'm not quite feeling my usual self. But I'm still invested. You know, I'm still invested in the game. I'm still looking forward to exploring the map and seeing what we can see. Thank you for following, Janky, by the way. Are you ill, says Fred? I am, Fred, yes. I am unwell. It's just a cold. I don't feel ill, like I said earlier. I did the other day. Headaches, you know, I felt sick, etc, etc. I feel alright now, I've just got a blocked nose and a sore throat. So, I feel fine, I just don't sound it. I'm well enough to stream, you know. Oh, there's Christmas lights up as well, by the way. We are in... It's December in-game right now, so all the houses have got Christmas lights up. There's the lighthouse. Obviously, we can't drive across to it, because it's across the water. I guess we could just swim across. We'll park the car. Car, in quotation marks. There we go. And we'll swim for it. I'm wondering, I'm tempted to put on some music because it's going to be a very quiet stream without the music, because we're going to be basically driving around in one car for the whole stream. But I don't know what music to put on. I always get very paranoid about putting music on when I'm streaming, because obviously some music isn't allowed on live streams. I don't know if the in-game radio is all, like, DMCA-free music, or whatever it is, whatever the acronym is. Like I said, I don't know if I can use the in-game radio on live streams. But there is an in-game radio. I haven't actually listened to the in-game radio on Farming Sim 25 yet. I did use it a lot in FS22, but I've not heard it until now. Hey Stan, how are you doing? Okay. Oh, there's a boat. There's a beached boat here. Let's go up to the lighthouse first. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna Google it. One second. Okay. Apparently not. Apparently. Oh, for safe streaming, use the in-game stream safe mode. Oh, that's the fucking AI overview, so I'm going to completely ignore that. That's completely useless to me. Okay. It sounds like people are saying that some of the in-game radio is copyright-free, but not all of it, so it's probably not worth risking. I could put on some music that I know will be allowed. The only music I know that will be allowed is, like, classical stuff, though, so let's go for that. Won't be a second. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this. You hear the music? And if so, is it loud enough? Or is it too loud? Do you want me to turn it up, down, inside out? I think it's STFC says yeah. Maybe a tad loud, says Fred. I can't hear very well because my ears are blocked up as well. I'll turn it down a bit. How about that? Actually, I might have my headphone volume turned down. That might be why it's quiet for me. There we go. Okay. This is Gustav Holst, by the way. You may recognise him, because I've used some of his music in my videos before. This is the Planet Suite, one of my favourite classical music suites. Very influential. John Williams took a lot of inspiration from it for Star Wars. There's loads and loads. I mean... It's just going to be on in the background, so you know, we're not really focusing on it. But great musical suite. It looks like we can't actually get into the lighthouse. That's disappointing, isn't it? I was really hoping we could. I swam over here. I swam across the sea to get to this. We can't even get in it. Okay, let's go and check out this this boat then. Hi Saul, it's fine if you ignore this, but I know it's a new account. Been a follower ages ago. I was wondering what happened. My old account got shadow banned, Harry. Unfortunately, it happened. Well, I think it happened around about November last year. For about 2 months, I just got no new followers, barely any views on my videos. So last month, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start a new account and see, you know, just start again basically. And it's worked out quite well so far. So yeah, that's why we're on a new account now. Okay, there's nothing on the boat. That's a shame. Thanks for following, Harry. Now, I don't know where they are, but I know that there are some collectibles on this map, or I'm pretty sure that there are some collectibles on this map, so I'm going to keep my eye out for them. I didn't want to Google it, because as soon as you Google, like, Kinlaig collectibles, an image will pop up that shows you where they all are. So if someone can tell me, you know, are there collectibles? Don't tell me where any of them are, but if you can just say yes or no, are there collectibles on this map, that would be very helpful. It would save me a lot of time, you know, if I know from the start whether they exist or not. Hi, Emily. How are you doing? Thank you for following. Okay. There's pretty much nothing on this island, unfortunately. No, I'm not seeing anything. I can't go into this shed. I can't go into the lighthouse. There's nothing on the boat. I say we just go back to the car. There are 12 collectibles. Thank you, Fred. There are collectibles. Good to know. Again, don't tell me where any of them are. But now that I know, I'll keep my eyes peeled for them. What's the game called? It looks really cool. This is Farming Sim 25, Emily. I love this bit, by the way. If you're British, you'll recognise this 100%. This particular excerpt. How was your week off? Very good, Draydog, very good. Had a great time with my sister and my nephew. It was great to finally give them their Christmas presents, because I haven't seen them since before Christmas. I got my nephew some Lego, and my mum got him some wooden railway. He's got so much wooden railway now. When I was a kid, I had loads of wooden railway, and I really wanted him to have the same. I'm starting him off young on the trains. I want him to be as interested in trains as his auntie. So I got him... actually, before he was born, I got him his first wooden railway set. And since then, every birthday and Christmas, he's got more and more for it. He's got a massive, massive collection of it now. And in a couple of years' time, you know, when he's like 7 or 8 years old, I'm going to get him his first Hornby set. Get him his first proper train set, you know? Can't wait for that. Won't say where, but they're very West Side heavy. Thank you, Fred. Are you going to watch the new Scream movie next week? I'm not, Sam, no. Unfortunately not. I would like to see it, but I don't really have any hard plans to do so. I might wait till it comes to streaming. I've already been to the cinema recently, and I try to make a habit of not going too often, because when I go, I like to get all the trimmings. I like to get the cinema food. For me, going to the cinema is like a not once a year, maybe 2 or 3 times a year experience. Although, having said that, the last film that I watched was Alien Romulus, and that was in 2024. And then, like I say, last month I went to watch Iron Lung. So going to the cinema for me is a once in a while kind of thing. And when I do go, I like to go all out on it. And honestly, I'm just not massively interested in Scream. It's, you know, I watched the first 2 or 3, I think, but it kind of beating a dead horse at this point, you know. That's Hollywood for you, though. You know, if a film's successful, it's going to get 20 sequels, and they're going to be diminishingly shit. It's like Toy Story 5 has just got a new trailer. It didn't need to exist. There didn't need to be any Toy Story after the 3rd one. The ending of the 3rd one was so perfect. And then they've made a 4th one, and now they've made a 5th one. Again, it's the same with any big franchise. They will milk that shit dry. And honestly, I just don't care about Scream 7 or whatever it is. I stopped caring after the 3rd film. Anyway, we're heading back into the village right now because I'm going to look for Kinlaig Castle. I believe that's in the bay. Hey, Max, how was your family? Very good, Max. Thank you very much. How have you been? Are you still doing spider content? I am, Harry, yes. The spider stuff is still coming. I posted a little video of Amber the other day. Nothing really major, just a couple of clips of him. More spider stuff will be coming as and when, you know, I need to have something to say, really. Like my last video, I talked about jumping spider care, you know, how to look after jumping spiders, what sort of stuff to feed them and stuff like that. I don't really want to make any videos about them unless there's something that I want to say, you know, unless there's something that I actually want to talk about. But I would love to do more spider content. Amber's doing very well. He's actually eating right now. You can't see him, obviously, because he's like that big. But he's eating a mealworm as we speak. He's doing really well. He's doing really well. For those of you who don't know, at the start of the year, I was really, really worried about Amber, my Phidippus Nikites jumping spider, because he molted just before Christmas, and he didn't eat for 5 weeks after that, which is a very worrying amount of time for a spider to not eat. Jumping spiders normally eat like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. So I was really, really worried about him, but he is doing really well now. I was worried for nothing. He eventually did eat again, and he's back to his usual self. I'm really, really happy about it. Also, my nephew got to hold him when he came up, which was really exciting. The last time my nephew came up, he was constantly pestering me to see the spider. Like, he'd keep coming up to my room being like, "Can I see the spider, please?" But that was just before Christmas, and again, Amber wasn't doing very well at that time, so he didn't really get a chance to see him. But when they came up last week, you know, he was finally doing well enough that I was able to take him out in the enclosure. My nephew held him on the back of his hand. He absolutely loved it. I'm happy to be teaching him from a young age not to be afraid of spiders, you know, because I really do think that arachnophobia is kind of like a generational trauma thing. I think if you hate spiders, it's probably because your parents hated spiders. Like, when you're 2 years old and your parents are freaking out about a spider, that instills in you a fear of spiders, you know what I mean? And I really want... I don't want him to be afraid of spiders. I want him to understand that spiders are very misunderstood, very fascinating animals, you know, and I'm glad that he's not afraid. He's already... You know, he's only 3, nearly 4, and he's already taken an interest in them. He's already shown that he's not particularly scared of them, which is really, really great. Anyway, I'm just going to put on the next track. Sorry, by the way, I am trying to keep up with all the questions, but there's quite a few coming in today. Does it take a lot to look after a spider, says Sam? It depends what kind of spider. It's very, very dependent on what kind of spider you have. Jumping spiders typically are quite easy. Thank you for following, Phoebe. Can you say happy birthday to my friends Harry and Emily? Yes, happy birthday, Harry and Emily, by the way. But yeah, jumping spiders in particular are usually very easy. There are a couple of species that are a little bit more demanding. But if you've never kept spiders before, jumping spiders are a good place to start because they're very low maintenance. They don't really have any specific heat requirements. They do well in various humidities. Really, as long as you make sure you feed them once a week or once every couple of weeks and make sure that they get water, they're fine. And they don't eat much either because they're only really small, so literally just get a tub of mealworms and that'll keep them fed for months. Again, once you step up to bigger spiders, especially tarantulas, I think a lot of people assume that tarantulas are also quite low maintenance, but they aren't. There's quite a big step up. I'm saying this as someone who's never actually kept them, so I'm not speaking from experience here, but from what I've heard, most tarantulas are a lot more high maintenance. They're a lot more sensitive in terms of the conditions that you can keep them in. Some of them have to be kept at a certain heat, some of them have to be kept at a certain humidity. They're very delicate as well. Again, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how fragile spiders are. The abdomen is really, really fragile. So it's quite easy for them to hurt themselves. With jumping spiders, it's not so much of a problem, but again, with bigger spiders, especially tarantulas, they're very, very delicate. So, again, if you want to keep spiders, I think jumping spiders are a good place to start, and from there you can like work your way up to bigger ones. We're on the wrong side of the bay for the castle, by the way. I can see the castle, but we are going to have to go around the bay to get to it. Thanks for following, Tabby. How long does it take to eat a worm, says Sam? It takes a couple of hours, usually. It can take longer. It kind of just depends how enthusiastic they are. Like Amber normally takes quite a while, like 4 or 5 hours to get through a mealworm. Some jumping spiders can just get through one in an hour, you know. But as long as you keep an eye on them. What game are you playing, says Dev? This is Farm Sim 25. But yeah, like I say, he takes normally 4 or 5 hours to eat a mealworm. You can give them other foods, obviously. A lot of people recommend flies or fly larvae because they're smaller than mealworms. The problem with mealworms is they grow very quickly. And because jumping spiders only eat like once a week, the food ends up getting bigger than the spider. You know, the food grows and suddenly the mealworms are too big to feed to the spider. So I always have to search through the mealworms and try to find the smallest ones that I can. And once they've all gotten too big, I just have to, you know, buy another box. Do you still enjoy piano, Saul? I do, Emily, yes. I posted a piano cover just the other day, actually. Big piano fan. I don't have any formal training with piano. I've not taken any piano exams or anything like that. I would say that I'm sort of intermediate. Wait, hang on, we've just gone around in a circle here. How do we actually get to the castle? Is there no... Oh, this way? Oh, we can't get to the castle by car? Okay. And there's no parking? No parking to visit the castle? That's unfortunate. Oh. Oh, there's a church as well. I forgot there's a church in the village. We'll check that out later. God, it's past already. We are going to have to go and look for the stones soon. That's the real mystery. That's what I really want to search for today. Soul of the Highlands. Can we go into the castle? We can. Woohoo. Lovely. Water bottle, toilets. We can't go inside, like inside, unfortunately. What games you playing, says Hanny. This is Farming Sim 25, Hanny. Which crops are the easiest to start with for quick profit on Farming Sim, says Harry. Soybeans, Harry. My recommendation is soybeans. They're quite high yield. Like, you get a lot more of them per, like, hectare or whatever. And you can harvest them with a regular combine harvester. Canola's pretty good as well. Oh, wait, this is a collectible, right? Oh! Oh, this is where I keep track of the collectibles. So are the collectibles, like, pages in a book? And once I've collected the pages, I come back here to read the book? That's pretty neat. Interesting. Interesting. I'm a beginner, says Harry. Yeah, like I say, soybeans are a good place to start. Canola's not bad. You do get more money from canola if you process it into oil, but you need to buy the processing plant for that. Okay, anything down here? I should point out, by the way, we're not actually going to be doing any farming today. We're just kind of exploring the map, because I'm not really feeling very well, so I wanted to do something a bit easier. What's that? What is that? I see a green glowing thing. Is that a collectible? It is. It is. I've got to stand in a very specific spot to collect it. There we go. Oh. Oh, it's a story. Oh, that's cool. We've been 2 weeks at sea now. So far, everything's gone quite splendid. Barring one daft incident with sauerkraut getting tossed about the caboose, it seems there's been a right simmering debate in there about prosaic versus poetic literature between the cook and the chaplain. That strange pot's been boiling over for days between those two. While that particular stew continues to bubble, I've noticed something odd. Strange discrepancies in the charts, or perhaps in the stars themselves. Mariana muttered the maps must be off, all while whispering about stars that shouldn't be where they are. She's a wee bit shaken, not by her own skill, but something else. I trust her. She's taken herself off to her quarters to study. Meanwhile, we held the course as planned. Someone really ought to scrub the deck. It reeks of fermented cabbage, so it does. Okay. I was not expecting that. So, Farming Sim has done collectibles before. Normally, there's, like, little toys or gold coins, like, scattered throughout the map. And if you find them, you get a little bit of money. This is really different, though. So, it seems like there's 12 pages hidden around the map, and they tell a story, by the sounds of it, of a lost ship that's lost at sea or something. That's really cool. I like that. I'm gonna keep my eye out for more collectibles now. I didn't see if we got any money for it. If we find the next one, I'll try and pay more attention to that. Oh, there is a car park. There is a car park here we could have parked at. What you play on? I'm on PC, Stan. I'm going to put on the next piece of music.
Susanna Malki, recently appointed chief conductor of the Helsinki Philharmonic.
There's a little bit of narration. This is performed by the BBC Symphony Orchestra, by the way. Okay, this is the car park. This is the... What is that, by the way? This is... What is this supposed to be? Because it's, Did the Reliant have a boot like that? I thought it had a flat back. I don't know. Maybe one of them did. I'm not a Reliant expert. Oh, there's a bakery here. Cool. Okay, where are we going next? We are going to go to... I see a spot that I think might have the stones. We're looking for the stones of Kinlaig, by the way. That's my main goal today, is to find the stones. Thanks for following, by the way, Sam. I don't know if I already read that one out, but thank you. Am I into horror games and puzzle games? I am, Sam, yes. I do a series called Horror Wednesday. We just finished playing Outlast, and in March I'm going to be playing the new Resident Evil. I also have a special stream lined up this Wednesday coming, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm playing. It's a surprise. For anyone wondering, by the way, this is Mars, the Bringer of War. This piece in particular was very heavy inspiration for John Williams for Star Wars. The Imperial March is based on this. But again, the whole Planet Suite, very big source of inspiration for John Williams. You should play Poppy Playtime. It's a horror game and puzzle. I'm familiar with Poppy Playtime, Sam. The thing is, like, I've seen people play Poppy Playtime. Like, I know what's going to happen in it. And the thing for me with horror games is I like to go in blind with a horror game, because it's not really as scary when you've already seen someone play the entire game and you know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I just don't think I'd get any enjoyment out of it, because I've already watched people play it and I know exactly what's going to happen. Okay, here's our farm, by the way, and the cows are looking good. They're looking healthy. We have gone the wrong way here, by the way. I should have followed the river. But it's nice to see the cows anyway. Hey guys. Oh, hello, Edwin, by the way. How are you doing? Can you play Roblox, says Tabby? I've never played Roblox, actually. I wouldn't know where to start, because from what I gather, Roblox is not really a game. It's more like an engine. You know, it's more like a sandbox for people to create games within. I wouldn't really know where to start with it. Oh, speed bump. I forgot there's some really big speed bumps here in Spruce Bridge. There'll be something on it you'll like. There's so many options. Has a lot of farming games. I mean, like I say, I'm sure I could find something on there that'd interest me. I don't think I'd stream it, because I've already got so much on the schedule. It is something that I've always considered checking out, but just never got round to, you know? Watch schedule, says Tabby. Currently, my schedule is Minecraft Monday, Trucking Tuesday, Horror Wednesday, Farm Sim Friday, and Sci-Fi Sunday. I don't do all of those every week. You can actually see my schedule on Discord, because it's some games I play once a month, some games I play twice a month, some games I play 3 times a month. It's a bit confusing. But yeah, my general schedule is Minecraft on Mondays, Euro Truck on Tuesdays, horror games on Wednesday, Farming Sim on Friday, and on Sunday I'm currently playing Subnautica. we are way down at the bottom of the map now. I took a huge unplanned detour. I was gonna just follow the river, but I turned right at the shop. I think I know where the stones are, though. I think I know where the stones are gonna be. It's finally the weekend. Got any hiking plans? Says Osmoggy. No, Osmoggy. Unfortunately, like, the weather's only just started to improve, so I haven't really had time to get a hiking plan together. I think I'm going to do one in March. I actually have quite a lot of walks that I want to do this year, and I think the first one of the year is going to be in March. I'm going to aim to do one a month this year. That's actually what I wanted to do last year, but I just didn't end up doing it. I ended up only going 4 times to the Peak District last year, but this year, hopefully, if I can go once a month from March to October, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, that's potentially 8 videos that I could do. And there's loads of places that I want to go. I want to do. I particularly want to do some of the railway trails. There are 3 abandoned railway lines in the Peak District that are now public walking trails. There's the Monsell Trail, the Woodhead Trail, and the High Peak Trail. I'd like to do all of those. I'd like to do Kinder Scout this year, because I've never actually been to Kinder Scout, which is the highest point of the Peak District. So I'd love to do that this year. There's a crashed B-52 bomber in Glossop. I'd like to visit that this year. I've never visited it before. Maybe another trip to Lady Bower, and maybe a walk up to Howden Dam. There's also the... Oh, what's it called? There's a trail. I mentioned it in my Lady Bower video. There's a trail that goes from Bamford all the way down to Derby. I'd love to walk some of that. There's lots of potential. The thing is, I've always said about the Peak District, you know, you could go every single day, and every single day you'd find a different place to walk. You know what I mean? There really is enough potential there that you could never do the same walk twice, which is really incredible. And so there's so many potential walks that I could do. Like I say, I'm going to try and do 7 or 8 walks this year if I can. And I will be obviously doing more of my videos because they've been very, very well received. But yeah, first one will probably be next month. You should try biking, says Emily. I actually used to love biking. I don't have a bike right now, but I am a big fan of cycling. I actually own a unicycle, which I bought almost 2 years ago now. I regret to inform that I'm still not very good on it. I haven't really picked up on it all that much, but I would really like to learn how to ride that. And once I'm competent enough to ride it, I'll definitely use it. The thing is, I thought that a unicycle would be a really good idea, because if I can learn how to ride it, it's so much easier to transport it than a bicycle, you know? You don't have to book a bicycle spot on the train. You know, if I get on the bus, I can just put it between my legs. You know, it doesn't take up as much space as a bike. So it's just a lot easier to get to places with a unicycle. So that was kind of my thought process when I bought it. Like I say, unfortunately, I'm still not very good on it. I can go in a straight line for a bit, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Hopefully one day I'm competent enough on it that I can actually use it as I would a bike, you know, just use it to get around. But as of right now, I'm not there yet. I'm just going to pull over for a minute and put on the next song. Well, the next piece, sorry, if we want to be pedantic about it. Have you listened to all of the planets? Mars is only the first moved. I have, Max, yes. We're going to put on Neptune the Mystic next. Sorry we're listening to them in a random order. I actually have 2 different vinyls of the Planet Suite. I've got one by the London Symphony Orchestra and another by, I think, the London Philharmonic Orchestra. I love the Planet Suite. It is my favourite classical music suite. I could listen to it over and over again. I should do a video about it. I wanted to do... Like, last year, I was playing with the idea of doing a series of videos where I talk about some of my favourite music. Oh, there's another castle. There's another castle up here. Yeah, I had the idea to do a series of videos where I talked about some of my favourite pieces of music, some influential pieces of music, but I kind of got a little bit scared of doing it because I'm not really a music expert, and I didn't want to just waffle about things that I don't really understand, you know. I know what I like when it comes to music, I know which pieces of music I enjoy and which pieces of music I don't, but I don't really have an expert enough understanding of music to do, like, musical analysis or anything like that. But yeah, it's the Planet Suite is some of my favourite music ever written. Such an influential suite. So much modern music, especially science fiction music. A lot of it takes inspiration from the planets. This one's really good. Actually, you can hear a bit of Alien in this. I'm a huge Alien fan. The original Alien is my favourite film of all time. Neptune and I think Saturn, you can hear bits of the Alien soundtrack in them. Like, you can hear where the inspiration came from. Anyway, we have arrived at the other Kinlaig Castle. This one is ruined. Is there a collectible here? That's what I want to know. Doesn't look like it. Oh! Oh, what's this? We can repair the castle? That's so cool. If we bring wooden beams and planks, we can repair the castle. No way. Or it might maybe like build some kind of visitors center or something. That's really cool. I didn't know that that was a thing. We could do this as like a long-term project in future streams then. That's really cool. Okay, but it doesn't seem like there's any collectibles around the castle. None that I can see. Love your headphones. Where are they from? They're just from Amazon, Emily. They're called EXA 1000. That's EKSA 1000. They're very cheap. These cost me like 20 quid. To be honest, I don't really wear headphones very much when I'm not streaming, so I don't really need anything that's like super high quality. So I just looked around for a decent pair that was, you know, budget friendly, and I found these. They're really good. Okay, back in the car. There's nothing here. We're also no closer to finding the stones. Where's the stones? I wonder if we could see them from here. Okay, if I can not fall down. Okay. Where could they be? Let's look on the map. Let's look at the map in full. Where would the standing stones be? They couldn't be at 52. That's like right next to my farm. I'm sure I would have noticed them. 61. Don't think they'll be over there. I'm not really seeing anywhere they could be. You had to make the stones at the little quarry, says James. Oh, how do you mean? What, you mean then they just don't exist? You have to build them yourself? That's a bit odd. But there's a sign for them in the train station and everything. I'm wondering what's down at number 60 here, this on top of this hill. I'm going to go and check that out next, I think. Back to the car. What do you think about the Alien vs Predators movies, says Harry? Not a fan, Harry. Not a fan, I'm sorry to say. I like Alien. I like Predator. I just don't think that they needed to be combined. Near Field 2, follow the path north from the main farm area. Thank you, Fred. I wanted to find it myself, so you have spoiled it for me there, but thank you for letting me know. At least we know where to look now. Path north from the... oh, actually, I see where you mean. It looks like there's a spot here, maybe? We'll check that out later. First things first, though, I am going to go and see... I'm going to go to plot 60, right at the bottom of the map, and see what's up there. I still want to explore a bit, you know? There's still areas of the map that we haven't seen yet. Okay. Camping. Campsite. Collectible, maybe? Who's wild camping? I think wild camping's allowed in Scotland, isn't it? I could be wrong on that. I know in the UK it's technically illegal to wild camp. I think in Scotland you can do it. I mean, obviously, whoever has been camping here has just left behind their tent, so they've still broken the law by fly tipping. But I think you are allowed to wild camp in Scotland. I know Scotland has right to roam, which means you can. It's basically like there's you can. I don't know how the legal terminology of it works or anything like that. I just know that you can basically walk anywhere apart from on people's personal property. Like you can't just walk through people's gardens and stuff, but you can walk across farmland and stuff like that. Like there's much looser regulations on trespassing. Wild camping in the UK as a whole is legal on specific lands with the no trace policy adhered to. Don't think you can wild camp on National Trust land. Fair enough, Fred. National that makes sense. That makes sense because I know that you're not allowed to wild camp in the Peak District, and the Peak District is National Trust, so that makes sense, right? There's more non-National Trust land in Scotland, so it's easier. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Neptune has just finished. Let me Pause for a sec. I think we've had all of them except Uranus now, right? Oh no, we haven't had Mercury. Let's have Mercury. Mercury's only a short one. Mercury, the winged messenger. Wait, what's that? How do you pronounce that, actually? Obviously, it's a Gaelic word, so I'm not even going to try because I will get it wrong. But that's the other castle. So the one in the harbour, that's Kinlaig Castle, and that one on top of the hill has a different name. Right, makes sense. Most forests and mountain areas in England are national trust. There's more in Scotland that aren't. Fair enough. Fair enough. Welcome to Corg Bridge. Please drive carefully. I will. Whoa. Not that carefully, though. We've not been here either, by the way. We never visited Corg Bridge. If I can find somewhere to park. Kinlaig Wool Mill. I can park in here. Okay. Anything around here worth looking at? Just nosy in people's gardens, you never know. Okay, not much going on here by the looks of it. Hi Archer, how you doing? Hi Samuel, how are you? Okay. No collectibles that I can see. We know where the wool mill is now, though. Oh, this place is bigger than I thought, actually. Oh, they've even got a tree. Lovely. Okay, is there somewhere else I can pull over? I mean, that alleyway looks like it's public. Hopefully no one needs to get through. Oh, the posters! More posters. Okay. Farmers Market, Saturdays, 8 AM till 2 PM. I will bear that in mind. Community Tatty Harvest, Brayfid, the Standing Stones, we're still looking for them. We'll find them. The Highland Bus for all of us. Whispers Between the Shelves. A midnight reading of Stories and Shadows. Is that the pages that I'm collecting? Are we collecting pages from Stories and Shadows? That's cool. The Kinlaig Express. Take the Laird's Seat. Ever fancied yourself at the helm of a real Highland loco? Now's your chance, you brave soul. Well, as we discussed in the last stream, real is a bit of an exaggeration. It's supposed to be based on a LMS Black 5, but it's I don't want to get into it. It's bad. Kinlaig Castle, Community Tatty Harvest. Okay, there's nothing really new here. There's nothing we haven't seen before. Nice PFP, looks super aesthetic. Thank you, Archer. Okay, no one's got any collectibles in their gardens, right? Don't mind me, just nosying on people's private property. Wow, everyone's got the exact same fence. Isn't that interesting? Okay, here's the tree. The lights don't really fit on the tree, but sure. I wonder, actually, if all of the collectibles are going to be messages in a bottle, like the first one was, then maybe all of them will be along the river. That'd make sense, right? Hey, Stormtrooper, how are you doing? I wonder. I'll keep an eye out. What's the plan, says Archer? We're just exploring, Archer. Just seeing if I can find any collectibles around the map. No luck so far. Well, we found one near the castle in the bay. Same posters again. Woo! It's a 20 zone. Doing alright, how are you? I'm good, Stormtrooper, I'm good. I'm a little bit out of it at the minute, as you can probably hear in my voice. It's nothing serious. I feel fine. I've just got a cold and a sore throat, so that's why we're only doing a short stream today. Okay, now, I'm not technically trespassing if I stay on top of the fence, right? It's not trespassing until my foot goes into their garden. So I'm not breaking the law here, I don't think. I don't know if that'll stand up in court, but that's going to be my defence. Everyone's got their own private gas tank as well. This is quite unusual. Is that why we're not farming today? It is, Fred. Yeah, that's why we're just exploring a bit. This is a one-off. This is a one-off. That's why I've called it on YouTube. I've called it a farming sim special. This is not part of the actual series that I've been doing on Kinlaig, because we have been trying to keep things ultra realistic on that series. This is just a bit of fun. Look at the size of this forklift. Damn. Why is there nothing like that in the shop? Are you going to change your voice, says Aiden? Eventually, Aiden. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm not massively bothered about my voice, to be honest with you. I don't really like the sound of my voice. I've never really been a big fan of it, but I wouldn't say that I feel dysphoric about my voice. Like, it doesn't really upset me to the point that I really want to change it, you know? And also, voice training is a very difficult thing to do. It comes easier to some people compared to others, you know. I think if you have a background in performing, like singing or theatre, it's a lot easier because you're used to straining your voice in that way. Some people just have better voices to start with. It's a very, very long and difficult process, you know, and I don't really... It's not really that important to me, so I kind of feel like, why bother? Why put in the effort when I don't really need to, you know? Like I say, I don't particularly like the sound of my voice, but I also don't really hate it enough that I want to change it. You know, it's just kind of... It is what it is. Okay, we've listened to the whole Planet Suite, by the way. What should we listen to now? I mean, I might just let Neptune play again, because it's a very quiet, understated one. Just leave that playing. We're going to be finishing soon anyway, I think. Well, I say soon, like 20 minutes or so. Sorry, I had to pop off for teas. Everything okay on here? It is, Draydog, yes. Very good. Where's your spider, says Archer. He's in the tank at the back of the room there. He's eating right now, so I don't want to disturb him. Okay, I see a brown sign. Brown sign means heritage. Kinlaig Castle. That's just the castle that's at the beach, right? Has it been a smooth first live back, says Draydog? Yes, it has. It has, Draydog. Snail says Food City 84. What about Food City 84? There's nobody in the chat called Food City 84. I've not seen a single comment today from anyone called Food City 84. He called me slurs in a private message, so? What do you want me to do about it? He's your mod? No, he isn't, Snail. I have 3 moderators on this account. Draydog, Charlie, and... I forget who else. I forget the name of the third one. I don't have a mod called Food City 84. Do you not remember your old mod called Food City 84? I did have a mod on my old account called Food City 84. I haven't had a message or communicated with that account since like 6 to 8 months ago. And in any case, I can't control what other people do. If they were still here and they were still a moderator, then I would remove them, but they're not one of my moderators right now, so what do you want me to do about it? So this is just nothing then. I thought there might be something interesting up here, but... Oh! A windmill. Can we build a windmill? That's cool. I think this is another construction project. Do you have a dick? Says Snail. Okay, at this point in the conversation, Snail, I'm going to assume that the previous message is just a complete lie. I'm just going to assume you made that story up to try and wind me up, and it didn't work, so now you're asking if I have a dick. To which the answer is yes, I do. It's always the same with trolls. If one thing doesn't work, they try something else. They keep trying until they find something that works. But again, it's not going to work on me. Did it hurt, says Archer? Did what hurt, Archer? I assume you're referring to surgery, and I literally just said that I haven't had that, so Did the surgery that I didn't have hurt? No, it didn't, because I didn't have it. Oh, bumpy again. I keep forgetting that all the villagers have got speed bumps. I feel like this particular truck also doesn't do well on speed bumps because it's only about an inch taller than the actual speed bumps. So if you go over the speed bumps at more than 5 miles an hour, it just launches you right up into the air. Do you want to know a random fact about the planet, says Max? Sure, Max. Go ahead. Do you mean the suite or the actual planets? Because either way, I'm open to it. I love facts about space and planets. Have you played Sea of Thieves? I haven't, Thomas, no. Hello, Logan. How are you doing? A bit of a random fact. Says Draydog, America attempted their own version of Red Dwarf, but suddenly scrapped the whole thing. I've seen it. I've seen the... They actually did 2 pilots for an American version of Red Dwarf. They were both absolutely terrible. They even got Robert Llewellyn to play Crichton in one of them. They were both just absolute crap and never took off. Which honestly goes for like 90% of American remakes of British shows. I think genuinely only 2 American remakes of British sitcoms have ever actually been successful. The Office and Shameless. I honestly can't think of any other American remake that's gone successfully. They've tried to remake everything. Fawlty Towers, Dad's Army, Keeping Up Appearances. If a British sitcom exists, America has tried to remake it and almost certainly failed. Would you say... Oh, The In-Betweeners is another great example, Nathan. The American In-Betweeners, disastrous. They tried to do an American Gavin and Stacey, where Gavin was from New York and Stacey was from Canada. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Could you please mute Samuel for me, Draydog? Because they are currently using my profile picture. One of my old profile pictures as well. That's quite impressive. They had to go digging for that. There was a student of Hulst who actually wrote a Pluto movement. It was written when Pluto was discovered and chosen to be a planet, but no one ever performs the movement since it wasn't part of the original. I did know that, actually, Max, yeah. And I've heard it. I've heard the Pluto version. Again, like you said, unfortunately, most people don't include it, and it's hard to find performances of it. But there is a Pluto out there, which is really cool. Although, obviously, Pluto is now no longer a planet, so... Unless someone's going to write a movement for Eris, Ceres, Quaor, Sedna, Make, and Haumir as well, you know, just to include all the dwarf planets. But then there'd be more dwarf planets in the suite than actual planets, you know. You gotta draw the line somewhere. You gotta draw the line somewhere. I mean, that's why the concept of dwarf planets even exists, because, you know, if we don't draw the line somewhere, you end up with 300 planets in the solar system, you know. Sometimes you just have to say, nope, anything below this size is a dwarf planet, anything bigger can be an official planet. Okay, that was the end of Neptune again. Since you're a girl, do you date boys? Says Gubby Shroom. No, I am a lesbian. Well, maybe not strictly a lesbian. I'd say I was pansexual. But mostly I'm into women. I don't know why I came through the farm, by the way, because there's 3 sets of gates that I've got to open and close. I could have just gone around the farm. Straight with extra steps, says JM, of course. If that's how you want to view me, JM. The thing is, as a trans person, you can't win either way, because if I said I'm a trans woman who's attracted to guys, you'd say that I was gay with extra steps. If I say that I'm a trans woman who's attracted to women, I'm straight with extra steps. Either way, you know, you're going to find a way to invalidate me. I don't really care. Okay, this is field 2, right? Now, I think the stones are just around the other side here. We respect you for being you. Thank you, Logan. I appreciate that. There they are! Oh my god, we found them! We found the standing stones of Kinlaig. They were right under our noses the whole time. They were literally right here, just north of the farm. Yay! Is there a collectible here? No. Gummy Shroom says, Dre, do you spend your life moderating Soul? Well, I only stream for like 9 hours a week, so I'd say that Dre spends 9 hours a week moderating me. Let's have Saturn again. Hi Lou, how are you doing? But here it is. We found the standing stones. Which, honestly, is a good place to end the stream, because the whole plan for today was that we were going to find the stones, and here we are. Oh, there is a message in a bottle. Okay, wait. Okay, 10th entry. 2 weeks on our way back home. Mother Nature seems to have found the off switch for the fog. Instead, she put a strange island in front of us. We don't even argue if it should be there or not, as it's not marked on any chart. Either all our charts are cheap fabric full of false information, or it is indeed uncharted. Royal Society's got an interest in unmapped landmasses, and the crew argues whether to approach. The island's jagged, possibly volcanic. We can hear a kind of hum from it, low and constant, like the Earth itself is remembering a tune. The shoreline glints as though the rocks are covered in ink, and a lot of it. With a few long weeks still ahead, Dougal and the chaplain want to land and rest. Mariana naturally wants to explore, and Finley, well, he's still Finley. Loud until the unknown answers back. I suppose I'll set the anchor. Who knows what we'll discover. Okay, second message in a bottle found. So I'm gonna, before we finish, I'm gonna head back to Kinlaig Castle, because it has a book there that keeps a record of the stuff that we've collected. So we've collected 2 entries now. Okay, welcome to Kinlaig. We haven't explored much of this either, have we? To be honest. Not that there's much here to explore. Is this a dead end down here? Oh no, it loops back round to the harbour. Fair enough. God, this road's bumpy. Unmute Frog Lizard, he wants to say sorry. Well, he can say sorry on Sunday. Mutes only last for the duration of a stream, so he can join the next live stream and apologise if he really wants to. Oh, I wonder if there's anything on the key here. Let me have a quick look. I've been watching a show called The 100. It's a great show. I would like to watch The 100, Stray Dog. It's one that's like been on my radar for a while that I've just not gotten a chance to watch. But I've heard good things about it. The 100 is excellent. Like I say, I've heard very good things. Just haven't seen it myself yet, so no spoilers, please. So is The Last Ship. I've not heard of that one. Oh, we lost Gummy Shroom. What a shame. Okay. So we'll just park here. Head up to the castle. It's about a Navy ship during an infectious outbreak. Oh, cool. Could definitely be worth watching then. I like that genre of film or TV show where it's, you know, person goes away and then when they come back some massive things happened and everyone's gone or dead or, you know, whatever else. I like that format. Be right up your street then. It's exactly that. Nice one. Okay, so I'm just going to check the book again. Right. Okay, so in the book here, we can check our progress for all of the entries. So we've collected the 3rd entry and the 10th entry. There are 2 more for us. There are 10 more, sorry, for us to find. That's really cool. I like that. That's such a unique way of doing the collectibles because, again, in a lot of other maps on Farming Sim, the collectibles are just toys or coins that you can find. This is a really interesting take on it. And I'm actually quite kind of intrigued about the story as well. So it seems like these guys got lost at sea and they sent messages back to land to like chart their progress. We haven't really got enough to tell what's going on yet, but I like it. I'm genuinely quite intrigued by that. We also didn't earn any money from collecting the pages, so I think I'm safe to save. We haven't like got any money from getting the collectibles, which is what I was worried about. So I will save here, and then we are going to end the stream. Whew. Okay. Right. Just give me a second. There we go. Okay, so thank you everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Sorry it's been a shorter stream. Sorry I am not well. I can't help it. I can't help being ill. Sorry, one sec. I'm just trying to put my keys back properly. There we go. Yeah, like I say, sorry. Sorry. But I really wanted to come back off my break today. I didn't want to wait another 2 days. So I just thought we'd do something a little bit shorter. A little bit of a one-off stream just to allow me to get back into it. I will be back again on Sunday, and hopefully it'll just be business as usual by then. Hopefully my sore throat will have cleared up and I'll be able to speak a bit more clearly. But yeah, we're going to be playing Subnautica on Sunday. I've actually completely redone the schedule for the rest of the month. So if you're on the Discord server, there's a message on there that tells you what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the month. But I'll just quickly run down it here. Sunday, Sunday, we're going to do Subnautica. Then next Tuesday is Euro Truck. Next Wednesday, I'm doing Horror Wednesday. And Saturday, I'm doing An Evening with Saul. I'm not going to tell you what I'm playing on Wednesday and Saturday. It's going to be a surprise. But that's the plan for the rest of the month. So it'll be Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Those are going to be the next 4 live streams. And then I'll post a new schedule on the 1st of March, as usual. I'm not gonna sit here and talk for ages because I'm already feeling the last hour and a half. Oh, why is the... What's happened here? For some reason, the follower bar is bugged out. Like, it's fine on this view, but on this one, it's kind of messed up. I don't know what that's all about. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, yeah, like I said, I don't want to keep talking too much because I've already worn my voice out enough for today. I'll be live. I'll get live again on Sunday, and hopefully it'll be business as usual. I've also got quite a lot of videos coming, because I feel like we're nearly 3 months into the year and I haven't really done many videos yet. Now, obviously, part of that is because I started a new account and I was moving over all of my old videos and stuff like that. But you know, it's almost March and I've really only done 2 videos this year so far. So I really want to get back into video making as soon as I'm well enough. I've got quite a lot planned. There's going to be more piano videos, more Lego videos, more spider stuff, more queer discussion stuff, some hiking videos once the weather improves, all sorts of stuff. There's also a top secret new project that I'm working on, which my Patreon supporters already know about. but the rest of you will find out about soon enough. So yeah, there's going to be lots of video stuff coming. Very, very excited for that. Speaking of Patreon, by the way, quick shout out to Kate, Jess, Danny, Riley, P, Charlie, Amy, Marika, Aaron, Hannah, Liam, and Matt for supporting me over on Patreon. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much, guys. If you want to get your name on this board, it costs £1 a month. You get access to behind-the-scenes content as well as a shout out on stream, and you'll be supporting me in what I do on TikTok, YouTube, and elsewhere. You can actually click the link in my bio now, because I've got 1,000 followers. I can put links in my bio now, so just go to my TikTok bio. There's a link there, which will also take you to Discord, Instagram, Blue Sky, all of my other places. But yeah, that's how you can find the Patreon as well. So thanks again to everyone for supporting me over there. That is really all I can do for today. I'm going to go and rest my voice, and hopefully things will be back to normal on Sunday. Like I say, lots of live streams coming, lots of videos coming, lots of exciting stuff. March is when things are really going to start to kick into gear, you know, very excited for that. Hey, Charlie, notifications didn't pop up. Sorry, Charlie. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I'll see you on Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to try and get some rest, and see you later. So thanks, everyone. Thanks very much. I'll see you later. Thanks, everyone on YouTube as well. Hope you've enjoyed. It's been a bit more of a chill stream today, because obviously I've not been too well. But it's been good. I've enjoyed. It's been nice to get back into it after having a week away. That's all. I'll see you on Sunday. Bye bye.